Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Gail's Designs. And I was like, I need to get a spiel. Anyway, hello, I'm Gail, and my channel is Gail Designs, and this is Christmas in July gift ideas. And so today I'm making a double pocket gift card. I'm calling this a wallet because I've added the key fob to it. When I'm selling it as a gift card, it's going to be, or giving it as a gift card, it won't have the key fob on it. But anyway, so this is double pocket, two pockets. So you could put two credit cards in there, I mean, two gift cards in there. And what I made this for my business. So I have my Cash App card in here, and I have my Square account card in here. And then I also put my business cards in here. Oh, there's my Square card. So business cards in there too. So I don't always need to carry my Square card. That's only if people have made purchases, and then I'm using that to go make purchases for like the shirts and stuff like that. And the materials I need to create that. The Cash App, that's something that I can always keep in there. But anyway, and so I'm going to rank this again because I want to put my Linktree QR code on the back. And I couldn't do it since I already put this on here. And I had to add to my QR code yesterday, and I didn't get it printed out because this whole half of my table was full of fabric getting ready for my sale this weekend. Now I've cleared some of that off, so I will be able to make it after the live, but I'm not going to do the hardware. I'm not going to do the cam snaps on the one I'm making today. I'm going to say hello to a few people that have come in. Sharon, thank you for coming in and being the first one here. And then I saw Bobby from, wait, Restream is so different because it's a black background and then everything is gray. And then like the bubbles are gray. I can't see that. I can't see gray. And so anyway, so forgive me if I'm struggling with this. When you type, so your names are in gray, but when you type, it's in white, and I can see that. So I see, yep, Bobby here. Bobby is here from EE Handmade with Love, and Boyd Apparel and Designs LLC is here. Welcome in, and thank you for being here. And we're going to give continued prayers out to Spelling the Diversity. She's with her mother at the hospital, and continued prayers for the whole family going through that, and everybody's family that's going through that, because we're all going through something. And so anyway, this is really easy. I don't even have, I hardly have any instructions written. And so we'll see how much I remember. That's why I like to do the project, because then by doing, then I can remember how to do it. So this is, is real easy. It's just one strip of fabric, and it's, I just noticed I better check that, make sure. Oh yeah, I need to cut this down because I just noticed I still have this on there, which means all I did was cut the full length of the fat quarter, and it's and you need 20 and a half inches, and then and it's 4 3/4 inch wide, and then a fusible interfacing. I'm using SF, I think it's 101. Is that what it is? It's got all the paper in here. Yeah, Pellon SF 101. And and so for that you need 20 inches by 4 1/4. because you don't need it to be the whole thing. You want it to, um, so you want your 1/4 inch around this to be vacant. My hair is like it's on its own. I mean, it's just like, oh, let me grab a hold of that. Anyway, so there's that. And then, excuse me, first time talking today, so still have that frog in the throat. And then because I'm going to be adding the hardware to this one, I'm going to just do a tab. And my tab, because my hardware is 1/2 inch. I'll be using the 1/2 inch swivel. So I just need a 2.5 inch wide and then 2 inch long. But I'm doing so this is 2.5 inch wide by 4, and then I'll cut it in half so that I have one for another thing. So okay, the first thing I need to do is cut down this fabric, and I'm gonna put that no, I mean, I would say it's really easy, and for even a beginner, you just have to watch to do the folds right because it's a mountain fold. You know, you fold up this way, then you fold it all this way, then you fold it this way, and then you fold it again this way. And the only struggle that I had was because I I added the hardware, and with all of the folds, I didn't know where to put the hardware, and I ended up putting it behind the behind the pockets, and I was taking pictures the whole time, and I put it behind the pockets, which ended up being inside of the lining. So, I mean, so anyway, so now I know it's like I need to see fabric on both sides to know I'm in the right part of the pocket. I knew I needed to be behind the pocket, but I need to be behind the pocket, but in front of the thing. You'll see when I'm putting it together, um, so that if you do go ahead and make this, then you'll say and use the hardware because um, if you've been watching me, I watch multiple. I watch multiple videos and then I take bits and pieces from this and bits and pieces from that. And because I have my own vision of what I want, and then I just keep watching videos until I find something that I can manipulate to be the way I want it or enhance whatever. But yeah, um, so they're all pretty easy. And so 20 and a half, let me check. 20 and a half is what I need. And then this actually, I think that's what I did with this one is then the amount that I cut off is what I made this tab out of. And even though this has this and it's got the little ruffle there, you're still, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold each side up to that fold line and then fold again. So even that can be used as a scrap, so don't throw that away. That's You can make that into a tab. So I have my pile of what I've cut because I'm still got this event this weekend, and I'm still working at it. Still working at it. Okay, so then let me turn this camera on. Um, and I don't have this on, I'm sorry. So I still need to make labels. I'm not going to make a label for this because I'm putting my QR code on here, but um, so I need to create it. I need to design it, and then then I'm going to be using this because this is what I have. You know, I have to use what I have. And so I have this. This is printable iron-on for fabrics. And so there's 5 sheets in here. I got this, well, I won I forget how much it was. I think $100 shopping spree at Cricket from a Facebook group that I was in. And so anyway, so this was brand new at the time. So I'll be printing my logo out on this and then ironing it onto this. This is you're not even telling, can't tell. But anyway, this is twill that I got to make patches with. And it's 54 inches wide. And so I just said, you know, because I didn't know what I would need. It ends up being 10 inches wide. She gave me like a quarter. I mean, she gave me a generous quarter of a yard at Hobby Lobby. And so that's what I'll be making my labels with so that I can, since I'm making purses and all that kind of stuff now, so I'll be labeling my items that I have for sale. So that's yet a project. I have to like do some kind of adjustment with my printer to get it to print color. Right now it just prints gray and a sketchy black, not a good black, not a solid. So like if I print patterns out, it's no good. All right, I'm gonna move the table over to the big screen if I can. Let me sit down. People complain about seeing my half body, but there we go. All right. I haven't even had my sip of coffee yet. Okay. And if I can request prayer for Texas, we've got Uvalde is flooded, parts of Houston is flooded, and bad flooding. Um, so just pray for all those families involved, lost their homes, lost their families. So I've been doing all this quilting stuff. Oh, those stitches look really good on there. I took pictures because this one I on Monday night I said I'm sewing by Braille because I'm using the quilt guide to guide me. So you line it up on the previous stitch and then it stitches over here. And I had to feel this stitch because I can't see the thread. Um, might be the gray because I could see it good. I could see it on this as I'm sewing, but oh, this was another one I couldn't see. I had to feel the thread to guide the quilt guide, make sure it was going to make sure I was in the proper. Okay, so I'm going to press this according to um the instructions on this. Let me see if I can. I mean, I'm just going to be up there and see all my stuff under my table there. But anyway, I'm doing good. Um, as you know about my hole in my leg, that's what I was looking for. It's doing good. I got to do treatments on it and keep it patched up. But this weekend, you know, is actually a community yard sale at my son's house. They have um, they're in a gated community and they do the yard sale twice a year. And so the family said, they usually don't participate because you got to pay a $20 fee to have it, and that's anywhere. Even if I was to have a yard sale in my yard, it's a $20 fee. And so anyway, so the Lord has been putting in my head, all the things that I forget about that I could be selling. I uh, used to do massage therapies. I can't do that anymore with my arthritic thumbs, which is common for those that do massages, is their thumbs go out. And so anyway, so I have a let me cool that off before I put it on my table. I have a massage table. I'm going to keep that because I do have a red light therapy um, pad that I put on top of that, which then I can just keep the table down low and then I can get on that and do my red light therapy on there. And but then I have a chair massage I haven't even taken out because I had got it for those when I had to go and do massages um upstairs. And when they lived up in an upstairs apartment, and I got that, but then I fell and it hurt my leg, and so therefore I never even used it. I never took it out. So God put that on my mind this morning. You can pull that out and sell it. It's just taking up space, and but it's out of sight, so that's why I didn't even think about it. But I got to remember pull that out. I'll be starting to take things over today. So that's the primary reason for going for the weekend for Saturday. But then I was like, oh, but I can do this, add some little things and sell some stuff there and introduce the community to my business. So because the HOA will be uh, posting it, it's a public I think it's a public Facebook group, but anyway, so they'll be posting it to the public, and so there'll be people coming in from the outside. It's not just going to be your neighbors coming over. So anyway, so I went ahead and while I was at the iron, and I took my tab. Let me make sure this is gonna. It looks kind of big. I might have to use the other one. So I did this one 2.5. And this is only a 1/2 inch swivel. Yeah, this one's going to be too big. So 2.5 is too wide for that. So I'm just gonna for this 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna use this other piece that's 1 and it's 2 inches wide. So that should be fine. So I'm gonna change my note to 2 inches. So 2 inches, 2 by 2. Okay. Whew, it's hot. Time to turn the extra fan on. All right, so now let's see how this is. Okay, that's perfect. Because this other one was it was bunched up in the opening here. So 2 inches is what you need. And I'm gonna stitch it, but then I'm gonna cut it in half after I stitch it. Because uh I don't need a whole thing. Okay, so the next part that we do is done with this. And I used when I did this one, I used the friction I don't know how to say it, but anyway, the pens that erase when you add heat to it. And because you're doing your lines here, um, when I did the first one, it erased the next line. So anyway, so I'm just going to use my pencil, and this is just a retractable pencil. Like I said, I can't see gray, so I have to there. So just this, and so we're going to do two, we're going to measure 2.5 inches from this edge and come up. Then from that pencil mark, you're going to measure 2.5 inches and mark that. And then from that pencil mark, you're going to do 2.25 and then mark that. And then from there, 2.25 from that. And so you're going to fold up, then fold back, and then fold up, and then fold back. So then your largest pocket is going to be on top of here, and it all will make sense when you uh, put it together. I was like, but why is the big pocket? Why is the back pocket? Oh, you can't really see. I did do green thread so that it would be more visible. But see, here's the pocket. And if this was 2 pieces of fabric, I would do a different fabric for like a lining, like you on this one. Um, and this is just a one pocket. And I just need to do the top stitch here and do the hardware on this. And this one I just did because then I'll hook this to a carabiner. And again, that pattern didn't have I added that key fob to it. I mean what do you call them? The tab with the hardware. All right, so 2.5 inches is my first line. And okay. Oh, I think I did this. I measured it this way. Oh, you can't see that. All right, I'll do. You can see that. And then I just went 2.5, which is the middle stars. So how y'all doing? Here, there's 2.5, and then we're gonna go 2.5, and then now, so this is my 2.5, and now I'm gonna do 2.25 from that line, and that is the first row, stars. And then 2.25 from that line. So I'm just lining it up on my 0 here and then going 2.25. So this would be an easy batch sewing. I would get everything cut out first of all, and then I would get everything to this point. Um, get get the interfacing on, and then get this marked, and then sit down and do the rest of it. Just boom, 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 especially without adding the hardware to it. Because, like I said, that's not, it's like usually when you give a gift card, it's not, doesn't have hardware to it. And I'm just, because mine, I'm doing for my business, and I'll be clipping that to, I have a carabiner, and I'll be clipping that. So it's inside my wallet. I mean, inside my tote bag that I carry. And so that I don't have to pull out, which I don't even have a wallet. My phone case is a wallet. Okay, so I'm going to go. Oh, and this is called a hot ruler. And thank you for the blessings. I was able to get this with some blessings that were made to the channel. And this particular one comes in a 2-pack. And I did, in the meantime, I had made this one out of felt, and I just stitched the lines. I stitched a um, I stitched a 1/2 inch and then a 1.5 inch, because that's what I need for my channels for the slap for the snap band purses that I make. So I did use that, and I was going to say, well, I could just always just keep this. I don't need this anymore. But if you take a look at it, it has these angles. And so, like, if you were needing that for your quilting, the angles, that's on there too. So how you use this for the measurements anyway, but so how I'm going to be using it um is I'm lining it up, and it's kind of, it does have a little thickness to it, so you just keep in mind about that. So I do just like right underneath where the line is. Once I can't see because it's cast in a shadow, but when I'm over there I will be able to see. So I line that up, and then I fold this over, and this way I can see that I'm folding it correctly. Sometimes I get like a lean to it, like it'll be like that, where it's correct here and then it goes off at towards the end. But this way with this, and I'm not affiliated, it's not a paid sponsorship. I'm not even telling you the brand of it. I got it on Amazon, but it's a hot ruler, and you can get them at, well, you have Walmart sells them, and Michael's has them, but only on their website. They don't have it in the store. So, and of course, it's cheaper on Amazon. So you get two in the package, and so you can press this, and because of the thickness of this, then you press it again. And what I did was I had pressed it, I mean, and opened it up and made sure that I was on the line. And then you, so I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'll be um, pushing to the next line and making sure all of this is straight. And then I'll press that again. So then this is what, so then this is what you'll have. You'll have this one that's up to the fabric. Here's the raw edge. And then this fold. And then the next one you'll do, you turn it over, and now you're going to be putting it towards the interfacing again. So this one is the 2¼ inch, and then you'll be putting, or however you're going to do it. You can do your acrylic one there and just fold it up and give it a finger press, then press it, but don't put your iron on your acrylic ruler. So then you'll be coming up here like that and getting that one to press, and then looks like we're puckered there. Okay. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, okay. So that was, let me see, this way, then this way, then this way, and then this way, and find that pencil mark for that 1/4 inch, and then press that. And so then you'll have this, and it'll end up looking like a M, or Mountain Valley Mountain, because in card making, that's what we called it, is Mountain Valley, Mountain Valley. So that's what you'll have. Okay, so I'll be over at iron. Oops, I lost somebody. Remove the ruler so that I can get a crisper press there. First one done. So, oh, nice crisp. Then folding it onto the fabric. I mean, onto the fabric side. Making sure that it's even. Make sure that on that line. Give it a good sharp press. Right. It just steamed, so I need to let it cool a bit. And so this is what we have so far. These are the 2.5 inch lines. Now I'm coming here and I'm going to flip it and going to press this 2.25 inch line. Check it. Off. Wrong direction. Okay, that one's better. Okay. So I put this here because I forgot I need to change my thread. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And then now we flip it this way and do that last one. Okay, here's what we have. Trying to find the place. They're trying to spot. Okay, so there's my mountains and valleys. And that's what I miss about from California is I loved the mountains. I lived close enough to the mountains to go. And so I'm going to be changing out my thread and bobbin. Let me move back over here. Bring it down. Um, put the contrasting thread. Because my logo colors are um, blue and green, so using blue fabric. And green thread. And I'm using washi tape as a um, a marker for my eighth. I need eighth of an inch marking so that I can see for my top stitching. Sorry for the hand. I've not had a chatless chat before. I guess that's what it'll be like when I come on in the middle of the night. All right, so I know I don't need to do this, but I do it anyway because it's just old habit. Is I go ahead and bring up my bobbin thread. Um, and pull that through. You're supposed to just be able to close, put the bobbin in, cut the thread, and be on your way, but I'd rather do that. All right, let me put my 1/8 inch marker back because that's what I need right now. And so I'm going to use, let me get this out of here. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we have our pockets pressed, and now we're going to go ahead and top stitch this. I'm going to give this one another press. It's not as sharp as I would like it to be. Okay. So I don't understand all of the stitch length things and stuff like that when I'm watching these videos. And of course these videos are, anywhere from 4 to 7 years old, and they're talking about 2.3 or 3.5, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I do have like 3, and then there's a dot between the 4. And so it's like for top stitching, like they like to do this stitch, and for regular stitching they like to do this. And it's like I checked it out, and it's like, well, what I'm using looks good. What I'm using looks good. And to drop it down to a different one, like they say, of course, theirs is digitized, mine's manual. Um, it it it's kind of on a it's not like straight. It's like at an angle, and I'm like, that's not what I want. I don't want that. All right, so I'm just going to use piece of later fabric to catch catch anything. All right, I gotta remember. The washi tape is my guideline that I need. Press foot. I guess I need to turn it on. I love it. Yes. So having that 1/2 inch instead of guessing between the 1/4 inch, um, really has it. I don't know if you could see it, but it gives me that perfect top stitching that I'm looking for, and without falling off the edge of the um, fabric. Okay, top stitch the other pocket, and it's going to help with my doing my wristlets as well, because that I do basically a top stitch for the first stitch to get the seams closed, and then next to it. Beautiful. Okay, so here are my pockets. They're stitched nice. And so then, because they're going to, and this is what confused me, because here's the shorter one. Oy, yeah, can't see it. So here's the shorter one up against the fabric, and then here's the taller one, which is in the back. So then you're going to fold I'll show you I'll move the camera, but right now I need to do my tab. So, um, oh boy, my diverticulitis is alive today. It's really hurting. Okay, so get my leader fabric set up. I don't know. It's habit to do the back stitch. I don't need to do a back stitch on this because I'm cutting that. So I'm going to turn it. I did run off the road with that one, but I'm going to, but there's enough of it where I don't have to take it out. There's enough. It's in a spot where I'm not going to be using for this one. I'll just take it apart to do the next one. Ah, here comes our rain. I have a tent that I'm going to be selling this weekend, and I told my son, I said, we need to like put it together so that I can make sure I have all of the parts. But it has been raining every day, just a little bit, but maybe we can put it together on his patio. There. It was more steady with that side. All right, looks good. Let me find the one that, okay, that's the side that, so then I'm just gonna fold this in half, because if you were here when I explained it, this is actually um, long enough for two pieces. And and then so I'm gonna cut that in half, and I'm gonna use this one because this one I ran off the edge. The stitch looks good, but it didn't catch, it didn't, this is open here. Um, so we're not gonna use that. All right, so I'm going to use the swivel hook. So I find my best my best stitching, and and make sure that's on the outside. So then I just feed it through there, bring it to the ends, and then I go ahead, not necessary, but I do it because I just need it to I need it to hold itself together. And I'm still new to doing these, the hardware tabs. So it's not second nature to me yet. So I do a little stitch down at the edge so that it holds it, hold the two pieces hold together. I am that personality that always goes the extra to do, like filing. My filing, immaculate. No matter what kind of personality you are, you will be able to find what I filed. Um, and my boss, my manager would always, she loved it. However, and she says, and I'm the same way, that she would do the same thing. However, it's taken you too long to do it, because she says, how come when people um, are doing your job when you're off, they can get it done much faster? It's like they don't do a good enough job. They do what's necessary. They don't do they don't do it. Okay, so we're going to be here's your pockets. Here's the pockets, and we're going to be bringing this up. You're not stitching here. This is the bottom with all the folds and the raw edge. You are not stitching that ever. No, just kidding. But it's kind of true. You're not going to stitch that um, until that's you're just not. Stay tuned. Anyway, so here's where my dilemma was. I knew that the tab had to go in like this. It had to go in like this. And because it'll be sewn in the seam, and then it'll be sewn into the seam, and then this would be sticking out. So I wanted mine on the left side. So that means we need to put it on the right side. So here's the right side when I'm looking at it like this. Wait. See, this is where I need to pause and think. And see, I put it in here before. That's where I put it, but don't do that. You need to have it in here in the fabric. But I took pictures of it so that I can do it when I do it again. But then it's like, but now they're in my camera and, so anyway, so we're like this, which then, so I need to put it here. That's where I need to put it. And I want the tab to be up by the big pocket. But yeah, when I'm making these, I'm not doing the hardware. But in my shop, in my website, I will be, so it needs to go on this side. In my shop, I will be offering it if they want it with or without. Okay, so I figured it out. This is where I need it. It is on the back of the big pocket. That's where it's gonna go. And kind of close up to the top. And I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing and do a little, I'm gonna do a stitch there to baste it in place. Make sure that make sure that's where I want it. Yeah, up as close to that as I can. Okay. So I'm just gonna baste that in place. And I say baste, but it's still the same stitch length. But if you were doing a true baste, you would make it, you know, a looser because you're going to be removing it. I'm not going to be removing it. Um, now you see what I go through. I'm just extra that way. So if any of my customers are watching, you will see that I do kind of extra security there. And I'm making sure that this stitch is going to be, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch so that when I'm doing my 1/4 inch seam, you're not going to see this extra stitching. Okay, see, this is why I do it. And you didn't even see. Sorry. I keep saying, and someday I'll be grown up and have, you know, a better camera setting. So the tab gets pushed by the um, presser foot. And that's why I do this extra little stitch so that it is sewn in there. So when when I'm stitching it together, then it's not going to get pushed out of the way. Because if I stitch it all together and it is leaning, I am taking it apart and redoing. So, um, you know, right now I'm not inundated with orders, but I see that. I see that it coming in the future. Um, so and when I was in another business, they say, you know, don't do for one that you can't do for 100, because I'd always be, you know, over gifting, you know, the one and, you know, can you do that for 100? No. Then I go back. All right. So, um, here's where we're at. This is an extra step. If you're not going to do, if you're not going to, excuse me, get to see my ceiling. See, I have my air conditioner on, my ceiling fan on, and I have a floor fan on. Just because I got a ring light, I got the floor light, and I have another floor light over there. And it's hot. Okay, let's try this again. So here's where we're at so far. We have our pockets pressed and top stitched. And the next step is to just fold this down, and you're going to stitch the sides 1/4 inch and turn. However, I added another step to mine and added this tab, which turns out to be 2" for, because I'm using the 1/2 inch swivel hooks. And so for the 1/2 inch, you need a 2" wide tab, which, you know, it gets folded. And so then it fits better with the 1/2 inch. If you were doing a 3/4 inch or a 1 inch, of course, you need a wider tab. So then I stitch it to the back of the taller pocket, which is the back pocket. And then, and now we're at the original thing. So going to pull this down and we clip here. When I say clip, I mean with these clips, the quilting clips, and that's just to hold things in place and remind yourself you're not sewing there. Not right now, baby. So anyway, and I do for myself, I do red because red is stop. And so I'm using my red clips. And yeah, I pulled all the reds out of my tin of clips. And well, we're not sewing there. We're sewing these edges. And so I'm going to, I say something doesn't feel right. And so I'm just going to put a red clip, even though I am going to sew there. Well, maybe I'm going to put a green clip there. Because that's where my hardware is. So I need to be mindful of that and go slower and do a back stitch do a back stitch when I'm going over this and do a back stitch when I come over it so that it's just extra secure. And I'm going to just clip these little hairs here. I'm using my cute little waist bin that which I use for it's my thread bin. I love it. And so okay, so here and then also I'm going to do, because I can feel where the pockets are, I'm going to do a back stitch when I get over that and then to the other one. Now remember, I'm going to mark that she was starting after that, but why? Maybe so now I might be getting other things confused. Okay, this is the bottom. All right, so that's what it was. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start here. And just disregard my thinking out loud. All right. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to use my leader. Can someone say hello in the chat? I can't, and I'm going to use quarter inch. The chat's not moving. I don't know if something happened. If y'all are talking, I don't know. The last thing I see is Sharon at 11:47. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm sorry. I see that there's 13 people here, but I didn't see anything since 11:47. Hey, Bonded Creations. Hi, Sylvia. Smurf Creations and Faye Norman. Oh my goodness. I was thinking I was here. I could see y'all were here, but nobody was chatting in the chat, but now I see. Hey, precious pieces. I am so sorry, y'all. I'm glad I said something. That is just crazy to me that they charge you. Oh, that's the way the state is. And then I don't know of a whole state, but so Bobby says that's crazy that they charge you. Around here you want a yard sale, you just put up tables and have one. And and that's the way it was in California as well. Um but anyway, but Stacy says that's the same way in Louisiana, at least in her parish. It's they charge a fee, and you can only do it twice a year. And if you do it more than that, then you have to get a tax ID because it's a business. It's considered a business. Hello, Jesse. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hey, Evelyn. How are you? How's your hubby? Continued prayers for Evelyn and her family, her husband, and of course the puppy is probably missing daddy too. Um, Precious Pieces, welcome in. Glad to see you. Thursday is the meeting and training for hubby to come home, getting ready for his arrival. Oh, I just got my just tingles. Sorry. In case y'all haven't figured out, I'm an empath, which means I feel all feelings. And I'm excited for you and your family, Evelyn. I hope all comes can I hope it all works out. Kingsbury Crafts, thank you for coming here. And thank you. I have you running in the background while I work, Gail. And Bonded, I know you can make this. I know you can make this. You made that tote bag, and this. I think this is easier than the tote bag. Let me know if you want to come on with me sometime, and I'll help you. Even if we don't go live, if you want to just work in the background. Diane, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in, and Sherry, thank you, thank you. Gosh, I've been missing all of this chat because it wasn't moving, and so I thought, "What's going on?" Brandy, sipping crabs. Thank you for coming in, and I know a lot of you are on your lunch hour. Not Bobby. Bobby's retired now. Marlies, there's my West Coast girl. Welcome in. My goodness, my goodness. I don't know what was wrong with my chat. It was not moving. Robin, oh, you're driving and listening. Okay, be safe. Robin's Creations. Okay. All right. Now I feel better. I mean, because I'm seeing how many people are here, and it's like nobody's been chatting. And I know I don't know what's going on with Restream, but it wasn't moving. Usually chat's moving so much I miss um saying hello to people or miss seeing their question. But anyway, so this is the side that does not have the hardware. I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam. I'm making sure and checking again that all these layers are all equal on the side here. And that's why I just put a lot of clips in here to keep it from shifting. But you know what? Let me just get it to where it's not moving. And I only did, even though this is really quick, but when you're explaining things and stuff, um, it does take longer. So this I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam, but my 1/4 inch seam is this side because this side is not a 1/4 inch. The outside of mine is, wait, the outside of mine is a 1/2 inch. Let me, where'd my, oh my goodness. I think mine is a 1/2 inch. It's 3/8 inch. So I need to, and this is a 1/2 inch. All right. So I need to do it this direction. And this is the one with the hardware in it. All right. Which seems backwards to me, but it is what it is. Okay. So still getting to explore my machine and different things, and um oh, I don't know why I backstitched that. I backstitched the leader. Okay, so this isn't a 1/4 inch because, okay, coming up on the pockets and the hardware. Let me try this. No, that's, yeah, that's not. That's 3/8. All right. So let me take this out. So I was just checking another setting on here, but it shouldn't be in the interfacing, because your interfacing is a 1/4 inch smaller than the fabric. All right, so I'm going to do the other side now. There's the one pocket, the next pocket. Okay, then this is what we have. And then this is all the open, all the open things. I was thinking I need to, and then you could trim off your edges. You could use, I forgot to trim my edges on this one, and it's fine. And so, but I'm going to go ahead and trim the edges on this. I'm using the pinking shears and just making sure I don't stitch in my, capture my thread. But the pinking shears helps with the the thread. This is the area where my where my tab is. There we go. But because this this material sheds, this helps with that. Prevent that, not prevent it, but I mean, it's like with a zigzag, then it's just going to be short little things. You're not going to end up losing your whole, fabric. And I have another one because my colors are blue and green. So this one I just have thread in there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab this one here. Not any of these. Not any of these. The opening that you want to grab a hold of is the one where you're going to see fabric on both sides. And you can see my key fob is in there, or my swivel hook. It's in the right place. So just pull that out. And I did the same thing I did before. It's like I gasped because it's like, oh no, because you're going to see, hi, Anna Smith, welcome in. Thank you for coming. You're going to see your big pocket, which is in the back. You're going to see that and you're going to think, oh no, did I sew them? Did I do it right? Is it backwards? But just go ahead and have that second and know that, nope, it's correct. You have one more turn to make. So poke out these corners, and this is going to be your top. And so then this is what we have so far. And this is open down here. And now we're going to go ahead and turn again. You're not going to stitch. Oh no, my. Oh no. Oh no. It is in the wrong spot. That's why I didn't clip before. Okay, so we're going to have to take that out. All right. Darn it, and I trimmed the edges. All right, so we're going to take that out. So if you're not going to use hardware, you're going to be fine. I had to be extra. All right, so then let me figure out how I'm supposed to turn. I didn't have to do this because I had it correct on my first one. Oh, this is bad. Yes, I did all that extra security on there. And now I don't have a seam to work with. Okay, so so I'll figure it out. And I'll watch my replay when I figure it out, because then I'll write it down. Wait, did I write it down? Nope. Press first 2.5 to the hot ruler in mountains. Okay. So we'll figure it out. So we know where it's at, and it ended up behind the pocket. Well, the first time I did it, it ended up inside here. And then the second time that I did it, it was correct. And now it's in the wrong place. I won't have to take the whole thing apart, I don't think. Maybe just to that point. And I can't, because you end up doing a top stitch all along the whole thing. So then those open edges that I showed you, it gets stitched in there. So you don't have to worry about, those raw edges being exposed in your pocket there. Sorry. Keeping it real for y'all. It's what I like to see. Don't edit out your errors. I need to know how am I supposed to fix that when it happens to me? So I know I need to do videos. I need to make videos and, according to the guidelines, you have to do this or that and, and and I'm gonna keep them real. When I do videos, I'm not gonna do the edits. I'm gonna keep it real. Um, but I really enjoy chatting with you guys, and that's why I like to do lives. I mean, I could sit here and sew all by myself. Now the chat is all gray. There we go. Um, I do stream because I use the free version of StreamYard and you only get 20 hours. And with Night Out Crafting, um, I mean, when we do a 6 hour, which just happens, it's not ever planned. And like last Monday, well, I guess that was just a couple days ago. I pretty much do nothing on Tuesdays but rest and reset. But there was no rest yesterday because I was sewing all day yesterday. And I went to bed about I mean, I didn't go to bed. I did not intend on going to bed. I just my leg that is injured was swelling, so I knew I needed to elevate it. So I laid down and it was before 8 p.m. And then I ended up waking up at 11 um 30, I think it was, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be late for my live. So I was thinking it was um daytime, but thank goodness it was nighttime. So I had a little nap and then got back to work. And so I got my link tree updated. And because I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to put my Linktree QR code on the back. I have it. I've designed it because you can go into Chipmunky and then redesign it to where it's different, and you could put your logo. You could put your logo in the middle, and but I did it like this in the bubbles, the ovals and stuff, because then it would be easier to weed. And I did the same thing with my square. Is I did it like that, and I did add, if you're going to do a different color, you have to, because that doesn't scan then, when you do it in a different color. So, but yeah, the black scans, and then the blue also scans. So I'll probably be doing black on here. I would do it in a green, but I have to go in that other room and get it out. So I'm going to be putting my Linktree QR code on the back of here. And like I said, I have my business cards in here as well, which need to be updated. They were my old business cards, which when I make new ones, they'll have my Linktree code on there, because then everything is linked in there. I now have the Cash App linked in there. I've always had the Buy Me Coffee linked in there. And then uh, my Facebook, uh, what would it be, page, and then the Facebook page, YouTube. Oh, congratulations to Delonda. That means she's going to have a party. All right. So my doctor gave me a referral for the eye doctor. It's for the glaucoma test. It's which is an annual thing. It's not, you know, but I'm nearsighted, which means I can nearsighted is when you can see everything near you and can't see things far. My father was farsighted. He can see far away, but couldn't see anything up close. So that's why he had to wear glasses. But since when I was in the working field, I would wear contacts to see far, and then I would need to wear reading glasses then to read the computer because because it made it blurry, the far vision, the lenses, so it's just like, yeah, this is crazy because this is why I wear contacts, is so I don't have to wear glasses. And so anyway, now that I'm retired, I don't need to see anything far in my house. So I don't even wear my contacts. So anyway, I know that my vision is getting bad because of that, because screen time. But um so when I have to sit here like this to do to do to remove this. So this is in the wrong spot. All right, so I will be saying what it is because I'll have to watch my own replay to 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 make my notes, to figure it out. So, um, pull this apart. Got to get these layers. Yeah, I thought that Peter had to do his I thought he had to do a YouTube live. I mean, like the whole live. I don't think I was going to say I don't think it'd be too difficult for him to do a craft. It's not like he's didn't watch it, and he does design some of the things, some of her rhinestone things, or at least he has input about it. So all of those extra things that I do for securing these things, that's nice until you have to take it all apart. Okay, so I am at the point where um this is maybe I need to take more out. Okay, so I had stitched this to the back of this pocket, and then it ended up being behind that pocket. So I think I think I'm going to need to have it here. Let me take some more of this out. So I think it's going to be in front of the pockets. Oof. Did she post a date yet, Bobby? If it's Saturday, I'll just have to do the replay. So this sale is at 7 AM. It starts at 7 AM till 2. And, like, the one of the shops in the neighborhood, mall here, the strip mall, um, they do I have to figure it out because I'm gonna ask them about it. Um, it's always on a Sunday, and it used to be during the day, but because it's so hot here, I mean, like, right now, it's it's 1:27. It's, Central. S Well, when I went live at 11:45, it was 100 degrees, 101. So, that's hot. So, anyway, so they start them at 4 PM. They go from 4 to 10 PM. Um, but they're just right here. I mean, I can load a wagon and go. Okay, Bobby. I was thinking about that today because I got a email from, like, Jennifer Maker, and I'm like, "Oh, I haven't had one from Delonda in a while." She has both my email addresses, so and I haven't checked the one email. I mean, when I'm, like, in like, I just haven't even had, like, YouTube on or anything like that, and, because 'cause I've been trying to get as much sewing done as I can, and and then there's all the other just regular interruptions of the day. Okay. And then, like, when I do, like 'cause I realize, "Oh, I didn't even have my thumbnail," which I use the same thumbnail, so thank goodness I don't have to recreate it, but then I do have to know what I'm doing, so I could put that in the description, and then I get in there and, do do that, and then, and set it up, and then somebody's live. Then I'm just in there just to hang out and continue working. Then I end up being in the chat and da, 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 da. Anyway, so um anyway, last night I was getting ready to go to head to bed. Yes, I was going to bed. Well, it wasn't last night, it was this morning. Hey, let's be honest. So it was 1 o'clock AM, thereabout. And Q was on, and she was just coming on, and she calls it moonlight crafting. And of course, she's figuring it out. She's doing her sewing and figuring it out. And I go, oh, do I want to say anything because I know I'll end up in the chat because she's figuring it out. It means she doesn't know how to do what she's getting ready to do. And of course I want to help her. And so she had some squares that she got from Timo, and she was stitching them together to make a patchwork purse. And so um can't think of her. There was somebody else in the chat that also sewed and was helping along good, but we're trying to figure it out with her. And so anyway, so I think I was up till 4:30. Yes. And I was like, okay, everything is ready that I had ready because this was so easy to do. For those that it didn't catch the beginning. So it's just one strip of fabric, 20.5 inches long by 4 3/4 wide. Interfacing, and I'm fusible interfacing, and I'm using SF 101 Pelon, and it's 20 inches long by 4 1/4 inches wide, and then that would be all you need if you're not doing hardware. I'm doing hardware just on this one, but for the yard sale this weekend, I'm just going to be doing them without the hardware. And but if you're doing hardware, the tab, well, I'm using 1/2 inch swivel hooks, and they also come with the D-ring, which I used on this one. I just used a D-ring on this one, and because I have a carabiner, and it actually could clip to this one as well. I can just clip these two together and then hang them off the carabiner in my purse. Anyway, so for this size hardware, the tab you would need would be 2 inches wide. You can make it however long you want. So I did 2 inch because I had a scrap that was 2 inch by 4 inch, and then so I did that, and then I just cut it in half. So now I have this tab ready for another one. Um, and it could actually go into this project bag because it would be the same thing for this because I use the same hardware for this single pocket. Okay, so back to this. So behind, I had it, this is the back of the fabric, and this is the back of the big pocket, or the taller pocket. They're the same size, just this one's taller. That was incorrect. It ended up staying behind there and not being able to move out. So now I'm going to put it on top of the shorter pocket, but I still want it to be as close. I still want it to be as close to the top of the upper pocket. So I'm going to put it right below that. So it's kind of, and it's hard to see the pockets. And yes, my Cash App card is in pink. You were able to get like pink or the lime green, and if I would have thought about it, I would have got the lime green, because then it would be going with that. But anyway, so I got pink. So here's where I want to do the pocket. I mean, here's where I want to put it, is like right under where the top of this pocket is. And so that's where I'm going to put it. And it's going to be on top of the shorter one. And I'm hoping that that is where it needs to be. All right, so it's going to be a little more difficult to tack that down since I have everything still open, and I've already trimmed the edge of the fabric down. So I'm not doing a 1/4 inch seam. I can still see the holes where I need to be. So I'm just going to tack this down, and you have the hardware in. You're just doing all the raw edges together, which I need to go really close to the edge. So back to the neighborhood, the store that does I wanna, I always accidentally see it. Like my family called me on or texted me Sunday, said, "Hey, you know, we made extra food. If you want some, you know, if you're out and about, can you and you want some, can you come pick it up?" Because she could not leave. Um, she couldn't leave her family. Her dad, they need care, and so she couldn't leave them alone. And she couldn't bring him because he was not he was not feeling well, so she couldn't bring him. Normally, she just loads them both up in the car and comes over and drops off the food, but I was hungry and I said, "Yeah, I'll come over." So I finished with what I was doing and went over there, and that's when I'm like, "What are all these cars?" Because they start lining up on my street. They line up on the main street, and then I'm on the first side street from there. And, I'm like, just making sure they don't park in my carport, which fortunately nobody has. Um, and because what I noticed was then they they have people's tents are parked. I mean, they're up against like the building, like here's the building, and then they're in there, and here's the drive to come through. And then they would go all the way to the back of the edge of the parking lot and then come up this way. Now they have this blocked off. They put tents here so nobody can come in. And so then they're utilizing the whole entire parking lot. And so, but like I said, I have a wagon. I could just load up my stuff. Well, I'd have to have tables. But anyway, it would be easy to do. Um, but I definitely would need somebody to help me with the unloading the um tables. But anyway, I really miss doing markets, but yeah, with the skin cancer, I can't be out in the sun. And then I'm reading things where it's like the sun is actually good, that it's not the sun that caused the skin cancer. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because I get skin cancer like on my back and on my legs, and then it's not exposed. But it also could be from childhood, which childhood we were told Coppertone, that cute little Coppertone girl with the Cocker Spaniel, they taught us, you know, but all that stuff, we're learning all that stuff was bad for us. I again did a back stitch on my leader. Chat's not moving again, so I don't know if anybody's talking. Last comment I see is 27 after Bobby saying that it just posted. Okay, I can feel where the key or the tab is, so I went over it twice. Which actually is 3 times. Okay, let me see. No, everyone is pretty quiet. Okay, I see that one. And and even though I did get rest, I'm just because I'm just been in this sewing, getting stuff done, and I still have so much more to do. Okay, So we don't need to trim it. I just need to make sure that I did. Okay, and see, that's what happened. So, um, you can't see it. You're right. I just received a notification on my phone, but it was posted an hour ago. Brandy. That's what Brandy says. Okay, so I need to stitch it again because it's good on this side, but it's too close to the edge on this side. So I'm going to come back and stitch again. So I'm not going to trim my fabric next time. I didn't trim it with this one, and it was I didn't have any problem with it. Those corners, the corners popped out. The corners are fine. Okay, she'll probably make an announcement tonight then. Wednesdays, my family, I go to the families on Wednesdays, so I might need to do a zigzag here. Let's see if I got that this time. Okay, I caught it. And if I wasn't doing this live, I would do fray check on there just to make sure. I don't know how long that would dry. Let me make sure I've got this right. Maybe I'll put it on there, and I don't know how long it takes to dry. Let me see. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I don't see that. If I saw that the seam was like um thin, like if I could see fabric pulling apart there. Like I took this apart and didn't even stitch it. All right. I have to stitch the end. I didn't stitch the end. I forgot I took the end apart. And why is that one even? That isn't even. All right. Okie dokie, here we go again. So that didn't even have a back stitch on it. That's probably when I back stitched on the leader fabric. Okay. Which, since that was the inside, that's gonna get stitched with the top stitching, that probably would have been okay. All right. So let me go in here. And this is good. That's good. All right, looks like it's great. So if you're going to do, if you're going to do hardware, you want to put the tab in front of the shorter pocket. Okay. So then you're just going to go, you're going to go in here with your tool, whatever you use for um, poking out your corners, and then um, go in here. So you have, this is the back part, and then here's where all the pockets are. And go up in there, because then the next thing you're going to do is then you're going to put your fingers in your pocket and push all this inside. Here is the hardware in the correct spot. I don't know why people call me during the flow. And I can shut it off. Okay. So then, so because we did these all nice and clean there, now it's time to go inside each pocket and poke out these corners. Oh, okay. So I'm trying to poke out the corner and I can't poke it out there because I could poke it out here. Which, there we go. I found the right spot. Be careful not to poke whatever your tool is through the corner. So you want to make sure that you get, you know, the edges on both the pockets. And so then that's nice. Now I can see I see I'm frozen on, oh, because of because of that call coming through. Can you still hear me? That call came through, and of course it's using my phone, and I stopped it, but hopefully, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Because it has that call on my phone, I see that I'm frozen. I see my laptop still moving, but my phone is frozen. Okay, so, and okay, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and press this. Oh, okay. It's weird that to see my my phone is frozen. And I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. It's at 54%, but okay. So now I'm going to do a top stitch, and that's the 8-inch, the eighth of an inch, and that's what I have, this washi tape here. Let me see it. So let me not grab the phone cord. So I put this washi tape. All right. I'm struggling, y'all, because I can't see in my phone anymore. Here, so I did this washi tape. So this is an eighth of an inch, and that's what I need for my top stitching. Okay. So I'm going to start just under this, I mean, just past the top pocket and go up around. And then I'm going to go, when I get to this first pocket, I'm going to backstitch once and then go over the other pocket, backstitch once, and then go around. And a trick that I learned, which I don't know if it's a trick or not, but if you get down to the end and it's not enough, then you just bring your stitch length down to just one. Or I mean, if it's going to be too much, then it will get you right on track. Just do just a length, stitch length one to get to that edge. So I did do it with this one, and I was excited because it worked. Okay, so we're starting past the pocket. And so then my first back stitch would be onto that pocket. My Gale Designs, I'm going to make another one. Well, I need to make a tank top because it's just too hot right now for these t-shirts. So I'm going to do the green glitter vinyl and then the blue stone. Darn, it's the same person calling again. Like me hanging up on. Oh, and one video said that they like to do the top stitching, like turn this over, and they'd be doing the top stitching on the other side, which then would be the front of your, it would be the front. But mine turned out good just like that. So I said it's the same number, but it's a 314 area code and it's a different number. So you know it's a bot. Okay, I'm at the top of the taller pocket. So I'm going to go one more stitch into the pocket and then back tack it. And then come back. And I like that a whole lot better. Yeah, it's Missouri. And it all started, maybe it's Missouri. What is it? Who is it? Missouri Block, Missouri Quilt, something another. Because it all started when I joined their website. Um, maybe they're calling me to tell me I want an embroidery machine, but they don't leave a message. Okay, so normally, when I do like this, going over like straps and stuff like that, I do the whole thing. I go forward, then I go back, and then I go forward. So it's a total of three. And so I like that that I learned that you just have to back stitch it once and come back and then back when you're doing like this, because yeah, Missouri Star Quilt. But I don't know if it's their number or not, but just coincidence that when Shay Shay did the snap pouch, um, in order to get the pattern free, you had to join Missouri Star Quilt Company. And so they didn't email me, they didn't leave a message. So I don't know. It could be just coincidence that somebody's harassing me from Missouri. Okay, so then I'm at the next pocket and I'm going to back tack once and come back. And now if I turn it right here, I'm not close enough to be an 8. So here's where I'm going to do that new trick I learned. Tip, trick, whatever. So now I put it down to a 1. And so now this stitch length of 1 gets me in the perfect position to be perfect, 1/8 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and just do 1 stitch over with that and move it. Oh, let me bring it back up. I don't know if it matters. Then I'm going to bring it back up to my 3. So I'm doing a 3 stitch length and a 5-inch width. Hey, 755, welcome in. So I really don't know what all that means. I just played with the dials and figured out, okay, I'm showing on the camera, even though this phone is still frozen. To me, it's frozen. So anyway, I just kept playing with my stitch length and stuff until I got what I wanted. And you know, the people I've been watching, they're doing like on a digital sewing machine. I'm grateful mine is manual because I could use it right away instead of having to learn how to use a manual. Use a electronic thing. Hey, 755, this will be really easy for you to make. You can make a key fob, wristlet. You can make these, which will be really good. I should put a business card in each one of them. Um, but I gotta make current ones with the QR code. Okay, so now top stitching this bottom, all those raw edges that you saw inside that pocket is getting stitched. Okay, St. Louis. Oh, I have family over there, but they would leave a message. And it wouldn't be the last four numbers on the phone number are different. Hey, Chimpariki, how are you doing? Welcome in. Okay, we're coming to the corner. And that's perfect. I didn't have to adjust it that way. Okay, now we're coming to the pocket and the tab. So I'll be back tacking there and going slower because it's a lot of thickness right there. But this sewing machine here can handle that. Okay, I'm going to do a back tag because get that tab. All right, it's not wanting to do that. Come on, I just said you can handle it. Says, yeah, I can handle it if you don't go so slow. All right, we're at the top of the short pocket. I'm going to back tack there. And it's like my foot doesn't want to push any harder. Okay, and at the top of the pocket, the tall pocket, and back tack. And we now come to go a couple more. There we are. Whew. Okay. So here we are. And then I'll be doing, so I figure out where you want it. And I, I've seen how they measure it and stuff, and they want this and that. And it's like, you do you, and you do what you like. And I didn't like it way up here. I wanted it more like right here. And so that's what I that's what I do. And of course then you're going to fold this where you want it to go as well. I like this, which then I'm not even going to measure it because I'm just going to go by what I like. And let's see if I like the same thing I liked the other day. Yep. So if Lisa MBA is watching, see, eyeballing's not so bad. So this is the same height as this one, which who's going to measure, who's going to compare to all that anyway? But I do see that the do have this there. and this one is down further. If I moved it up like that, then they're fine. Huh. Oh, this is different because it's loaded. It's got my business cards in there and then my cards, which we won't expose those. Um, yeah. So this is where, let me put my cards back in here so I don't lose them. So I just need to refresh my business cards because that's my old logo was the peacock, which the blue and green, those are the colors that are in the peacock feathers. And but I can't use that logo because I didn't pay for it. I mean, it was a design that I downloaded and it was fine until I actually opened business. Then it was like, oh, I better be careful. So now I currently don't even have a true one. It's just my name with a butterfly attached to it, which I have to, whatever. But I want to have my QR code, my Linktree QR code on my business cards. And so I'm just pressing and um and then um and then I'm going to be using the green again on this one. And I figured because I'm going to put the QR code, I'm going to iron it to this side. I can at least do the button for the front part and then do this one once I get that QR code ironed on there, which I don't have. I haven't. I have the Linktree in Cricut. I couldn't get into Cricut today before the show because that whole half of the table was loaded with all the fabric and my I have 5 of these project trays stacked up over here. And I'm just assembly line, you know, getting it done, getting it progress. Um, oh gosh, I don't even know where they went now. But, my stack of quilting all this. I need to quilt 2 to make 1 item. So, and these are the luggage, they're the handle covers. And so I've got 20, see, 10 sets. So there's 2 in each set. So yeah, 20. So I have all that quilting to do first. So we're using this bright green. So oh my goodness. Here it is. So my little. So you need you need 2 of these that are like a button, and that's the outside. And then these 2, but are they the same color? because they got the two greens right next to each other. So you need one like this and one like this, and then you need another one of those. Here's one down here. Okay. So I won't be needing this right now because I'm only going to do the top one. And so this is going to be the one for the, because I need to do the QR code. Put that over here. I need to put the QR code on before I do the back one. So this was another one of the items that I got with the blessings to my channel. And this was another one of the things. And I love it because I can do cam snaps now. So and I know I'm going to hold on to this. I didn't hang on to this the last time because I didn't know it was spring loaded, and it just like it popped and then everything went all over the place. And so I just need the all and this, and it's already set up with the sizes that I need. This also has the attachments where you can do T8 and T3. This is actually T5, which I don't know what that means, except for T5 is the size cams that I have. So I'm going to set these aside, and so I fold it in half to find my center. And just do like a finger press. So I know where my center is going to be. And then kind of decide where I want it, which I like it right there. And then I'm just going to mark it. And this is just a water soluble pen, which doesn't matter because it's going to be underneath the thing. Then I'm just going to make sure. Just a little bit off on that, which doesn't matter. Okay, then I'm going to stick, and that's why I was looking for this. So I'm going to stick the all in here and keeping my fingers out of the way. I'm going to pull it through. And then this one that looks like a thumbtack goes in there. It's kind of like when I was a kindergarten teacher, you learn to read because the book is here so that the kids can see the pages, and you learn how to read upside down. It's like I'm working upside down. Okay, so then this is the flat side that's going to go on top of this, and then this is going to be sticking up there. So then the cap part goes in here, and then this is silicone, and it'll push down in there. So getting this in here, making sure my thing is in, and then press. So there's there's that. And I will be, I'll be adding the other one. So then the next part would be, just like pressing this and it'll make the indentation and then you can see where it is. And then you would just, I can go ahead and do that right now, but I'm not going to put the piece in there, but I can at least make the hole in there. So, and of course, for me to see it, I got to get underneath here and underneath this light. Because the ones that when I saw them doing this, it's actually metal and it was actually making a dent. Now I see it. So I'm just marking it with my pen and then verifying that's where it needs to go. And then I could just make that hole. And you want to make sure you're inside there. Hey, Terry Hunt, welcome in. So that's where that's going to go. And so when you're doing this one, you want to put the one that's like a thumbtack in on the inside. And push that fabric down. There we go. And then just push the fabric down around that. So this is what that's going to look like on the inside of that pocket. And that's the short pocket. And then this one is like this. And you would put that on there. I'm not going to put that on there now because I need to put the QR code on the back here. And that's only going to be like on mine. As I was saying, it's like for when I get the business cards remade, I could do, I'm going to put like a business card inside there. And if the person, if they're doing it, if they're using it if they're buying it as a gift card, if they don't take my business card out of there, then whoever buys it, whoever is the recipient, they'll probably take it out. But anyway, so that is, let's just go ahead and show this one off since that's the one that the snap is done. So that's the double pocket gift card holder. And I added for mine, the swivel hook. So this one I'm calling a wallet. And if it doesn't have the hardware, then it's a gift card holder. But this one is a 2-pocket gift card. And I have, business cards in one, and then, and my my Square card for my business and my Cash App card. Because this I want as my business. I want it to have it, and I'll hang it inside my tote bag. Then that way, this is strictly business for the business. And but yeah, you can use these. I'm going to switch out because I'm going to finish up this other one that I have that I did last Wednesday. I needed to do the top stitching on it, and then I can do the snaps on it. So and I had to redo the top stitching on this. and we're using this color. So this is a single, this one's a single, and then I made the curve thing, but you can't do the curve with this because you're not sewing two fabrics together. You're using just one long strip of fabric that's 20.5 inches long by 4 3/4 wide. So this is a really good project for a fat quarter. Um, uh, because fat quarters are like 21 inches to 22 inches, depending how generous the person was with their cut. Um, and so, and then like I had mentioned, that extra, extra piece could be for your tab if that's what you wanted, if you're going to add the tab to it. I'll be making these just as without the tabs. And this one I just did the little D-ring. I'll be making these without it, which they just really just whip out really fast. Even this one whips out really fast. So that's great for like when you're doing batch sewing. And batch sewing is like when you when you have the same project that you're going to do multiple of, and then and you just get everything moved to the same spot and then just do all the things. So like with this one, the double pocket one, I would get the first thing that you do is you iron on the interfacing and then mark the ends. The first one is 2.5 inches, and then you go 2.5 inches from that marking, and then you go 2.25 inch from that marking, and then another 2.25 inches from that marking. And then you're pressing, and then you're pressing up to the next one, the opposite direction, and then the next one, the opposite direction, and then the next one, the opposite direction. And so you have an M at the end, or a mountain, valley, mountain, valley. But I would do the interfacing on all of the ones. Say you're doing 5, I would do all 5 of them, and then get them all to that point, and then mark them, and then press them all. Just get them all moving in the same step, and then you have 5 of them all done at the same time. And so that you could do that, and then these, both of them, just whip them out. But yeah, get as many cut out as you want to make, and just make the steps. So I've done batch sewing for many years, and I like it. And I used to do a lot of hand stitching, like when I made dolls. I did personalized dolls, the faces, and the client would tell me what color hair they wanted and what color eyes they wanted, and if any facial features like dimples. And so my husband was one that he's no longer with us, but he was one that would demand TV time. And if you've been following me, I didn't grow up with a TV. I don't have a TV now, but he forced us to watch TV with him. Kids were fine because they liked watching TV, but me, I like to be busy. So when I was doing the dolls, I would have a basket full of heads sitting by my chair, and I did hand embroidery. And of course, this is all before cell phone pictures, so The evidence that I have of that is my niece who was a recipient of one of those when she was um, born. My brother said he wanted a redhead with blue eyes. So I made, red hair with blue eyes. And my mom wanted one with red hair and green eyes. And she wanted a redhead baby. She married a redheaded man, and she didn't get any redheaded kids. So she wanted a redheaded doll. And so anyway, um, so I had a picture of that, and it's like I missed the opportunity the last time I was in Illinois. I should have had her, I should have taken a picture of us with her doll in the same, like when I gave it to her, um, her sitting in my lap holding the doll, because that would have been a nice picture. So anyway, I could post that picture. I do have that. And then I would embroider on they had tattoos. So they had the tattoo of um when I finished it. So when, like, the date that I finished it. And then I had to make sure I was still moving. And like, for if they were born in September, then I used like sapphire um uh thread. Still here working in the back, y'all. All right, 755. And so anyway, but that was all before you had, you know, uh cameras, internet, and it was in the 80s. So yeah, it's not easy. The pictures aren't there. And my husband bought me a really good camera, and we took pictures like that. And if I could find the roll of film, we don't have anything. I tried to make a photo album. And so we took pictures of the process, and then took pictures of the baby holding the doll. And one of the teachers that I worked with, she's the one that wanted dimples. And so that was my first, I learned how to make the dimples. And so and she sent me a picture of she gave me a picture of him holding it. And of course he's holding it by the hair, which I really triple stitched. I made the wigs. All right, so now I'm happy with um and on my phone, that is still um frozen, but I can actually see here. So anyway, so now I can go ahead and finish up this one, now that I'm happy with my top stitching that I did here. So I can do that. Um, just gotta find my, I just gotta find out, where did I put those? I put this one in there because that's what Jesse said, do this one, because I had options. And so we're going to go with this. So I have that, and I need this button one and this tack one. And then I need one that's sticking up. There we go. And you can't see that. So we have the two tacks that look like tacks. Then we have one that's sticking up and one that's indented in. I'm gonna make sure that this closes so that I don't have everything from it. So again, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing where I'm going to fold it in half. And of course, I'm folded it in half the other direction, but it still has an indentation there where I can see where the middle is. Then I'm going to go ahead and line this up where I want it. And I'm going to put this here. I think that's where I want it. And stick the awl in there. Now this one is there's no interfacing with this one. It's just two pieces of fabric. So I'm going to put the tack in there. And I like this. I thought, oh, it's like I wouldn't be able to do this because of the arthritis that I have here. However, I think I put that one there. It's not difficult for me. And then Bobby pointed out the fact, well, it's fabric. If you were doing it in the leather, then it would be more. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll be mindful of that. Make sure I have good, have a good day, not in a flare up, being a good, um, my pain level being less. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to go ahead and find where we're going to put this. It's funny. I'm still have my first cup of coffee, um, my morning coffee, and but it's cold. I mean, it's room temp, which is cold, and after I make my first cup of coffee, then I make another one and let it cool off, and then I put it in my jar, and then put that in the fridge. So they're both iced coffee at this point. That one's a little colder because it was in the refrigerator since yesterday. All right, so squeezed it to give an imprint here. Then I'm going to put my mark there. And again, it doesn't really make the imprint quite as much. I might be the one not pressing it hard enough, but it's enough for me to see under the bright light here. And then I just verify with this. And this one is a single pocket. And you can do this in any fabric for any occasion. And I had seen one with the buffalo plaid, and then they used another plaid. And you know what she was using? She was recycling flannel shirts. I'm like, I love that. Although we don't have any flannel shirts here, but maybe the Goodwill will. Now we're going to put this part on here. Evelyn says she's still drinking the end of my morning coffee too. I know, Evelyn. It's like we're so much alike. Uh, except for I'm the one falling, and your husband's the one that's falling. but thank goodness I haven't broke anything. And as I explained before, my falling isn't necessarily because anything's in my way. It's because I have scoliosis, which my spine actually curves to the side, and some scoliosis curve outward. Mine curves to the side, and it's pulling one hip up higher. And so on days that the muscles are really tight in my back, that's when the hip is pulled. I do a lot of stretches where, and it's like when I was going to a chiropractor after a car accident, he just kept, because the feet are, you weren't equal. And so he kept like yanking on this one, which he needed to be working on the hip area to relax those muscles and so that he could straighten it. It's like, but I wasn't going to tell, I didn't understand at that point, but me doing massage therapy and stuff like that, I learned and getting used to what's going on with my back because it wasn't as bad um before I got a sit down job. So there's the snap. I love it. So Jesse, you chose that color and it's perfect. Perfect for this fabric. And I added the D-ring thing here to this, but when I'm making them for my website and for this yard sale, I'll be making them without the hardware. And currently I have just fabric that I've been using, and I don't have any holiday fabrics, but so this is, when they send you this is just advertisement. I just keep these, it's cardboard, but I just keep these as, as a thing to keep for but anyway, so there you go. So this is the single one. If you want to see the tutorial for this one, this I did last week, and I'll be making a bunch of these without, like I said, without the hardware. And then those will be, I don't know how much to sell them for, but I've been looking at, since I watched a market setup on YouTube. Now I'm being flooded with reels of market setups. And of course you don't know where they're located at. One of them was in Canada because somebody commented, well, I don't get that much for in my area. And then they said, oh, that's Canadian price. And so but anyway, so I'll be making a bunch of these just in fabrics that I have, and I'll be making some of these, the double pocket one without the hardware, with fabrics that I have. And these are easy to whip up. I'm just gonna go ahead and just flip these up so you can kind of see the two pockets. I like these. And they're both really easy, and I couldn't tell you which one would be easier. This one is real simple because it's just 20 by 20.5 inches long by 4 3/4 wide. And then the fusible interfacing is 20 inches long by 4 1/4. And that's it for that. And then let me see. This is I have these tissue holders that I'll be making more of, just a few more of those. And then I have key fobs that I'm doing, which actually I found out, looking at Lisa MBA's setup. This is actually a key fob. If you use this hardware, it's a wristlet. So I went ahead and I added 1-inch split ring to this because I bought, again, with money, blessing channel, channel blessings. I bought these 1-inch swivel hooks, and they do have a D ring too. So I bought those, but I wanted them to be for key fobs. So I added the half-inch split ring to them. So, but I have to make the labels, and so the labels will get stitched on the inside of here. So I have to print out the labels, and so then these are all they're all set in this, waiting to be stitched. So got those all done, and then making the other things. What I'm looking for is my what did I just step in? Making these, getting these quilted. Here's the tray I was looking for. So yeah, so I go to my family's house. It's almost 3:00. I go to my family's house in a few hours, so I'm going to be sewing what I can get done. So so for this one with the curved, and again, I showed that on last week's video, Wednesday's video. So I had just had there's this just junk mail, and then I folded that in half, and then I just got like a jar lid to do the rounded part, and so I'm just going to use this as an example. And so you just line it up equal with this, the top and the side, and then pencil that and then cut it. And then when you have your so here's how your fabric is. This one's ready to go. And I even have a key fob in here. Oh, this one is the swivel hook. So then you just, when you have then you just line up your pattern, which then I cut it out of the fat quarter thingy. Then you just put it up there, and then you just trace those lines on there. And then you're going to just go ahead and you're stitching your 1/4-inch seam, and you go around that curve. You just pretend that that line is the edge of your fabric, and then you just trim that all off. And I do have the key fob in here already, just ready to go. This one's easy to figure out because you don't have pockets to do. So anyway, so this one's ready to go. And again, I said I wasn't going to do them for the show with the hardware in there, but this one's all ready to go. So I'll be doing that one. And then, oh, these are gift cards, but they're voided. So, and then extra things. So anyway, so that's that. I have 5 different projects that I'm trying to get at least 10 of each done. And if I don't get them done, that's okay, because the main focus for this weekend is to sell big things that I have to get rid of here. So then I can, like, what I would like to do is like get rid of that stuff so that I can then have my old sewing room be my sewing and craft room, because then there'll be more room, and then I don't have to keep switching things out. And so, but yeah, that's all I've got today. There's still 16 of us still here. So this is what we made today, is the double pocket wallet, and with the key fob. And so, and this is actually the one that we made. I didn't put the hardware in. I mean, I didn't put the snap in this one because I'm going to cut out my QR code for um, for my link tree and attach it here so that when I'm out doing shopping for the business, then I have the QR code for anybody to scan. And so anyway, so that's what we did today. And then this is the one we did last week. And then I just added the hardware in today. So you're able to use reversible fabric because you're using two pieces of fabric. Oh, what I was looking for was, I'm sorry. So I don't actually have I actually don't have a pattern for this, but I can tell you what this is. So basically it's two pieces of fabric, 7.5 inches by 5 inches. And then the lining is just a half inch less. So the lining is it's hard to tell, 7 inches by 4 inches. I'm not the lining, the interfacing. So that's what that is. And again, I just made up the tab with the hardware on it, which on the ones that I'll be doing for the weekend, I'm not doing that. So anyhow, Brandy, you're driving again, or let me see. Drive safe. Okay, my precious pieces. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Brandy. Oh, you're headed home from work. Okay. All right. So, oh, Kelly, I didn't know you were here. Thank you for coming in. I'm sorry if I missed anybody else. The chat wasn't moving. It was like stuck. Been running errands. Okay, great. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I'm really happy with these, because I haven't made these before, and this is my first time using snaps. And as you could see, I got it figured out. The first time I did it, I just had it in the wrong place the first time, and then I got it in the right place when I redid it. And this time I had it in the wrong place again, but a new wrong place. So now I know it goes in front of the short pocket. So if I do with the hardware again, and like I said, I will be offering this as calling it a wallet because it has the two pockets. And when I add this, I'm calling it a wallet. But if it doesn't have the hardware, I'm calling it a gift card holder. So, and this one, the single pocket, I'm only doing it as a gift card holder, and they're really cute in all kinds of fabric. Like I said, I seen it with the buffalo plaid, the red and the black, and it is so cute. But they did deconstruct a flannel t-shirt. I mean a flannel shirt, and so it was real. I guess you can buy flannel fabric. You can buy flannel. I'm just used to Walmart. I'm used to Walmart fat quarters, but I think I seen flannel in Walmart. I mean in Hobby Lobby and Michael's. Okay, so take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me again for another episode of Christmas in July with Gale Designs. And so I'm bringing to you all month long little gift ideas, that are quick, easy to make because we want to get started on them. I like to get started in July for things because then it releases the stress for the um for the time crunch, which I always, I was a long distance runner, and so it's like you go slow at the beginning and you pour it all out at the end. And I find that I do my projects that way too, where I'm like taking my time doing this quilting and stuff, and then I'm going to be up, nonstop to get them all stitched together. But it's all going to be good. Whatever gets done is going to be good because the primary focus is to like sell the tent, sell the air conditioner, or sell the big things, because then that's going to go to my laptop fund. And uh, anyway, bye, y'all. Thank you for coming in, and be safe out there. And keep an eye out. Delonda hit her goal, and so she'll be having a party, and her husband will be crafting. So love you all, and I really do appreciate you coming in and chatting with me and stuff. So, and again, if I miss saying hello to you personally, I haven't seen any moderators in here. Um, so I'm sorry if I missed saying hello to you. Bye and thank you. Like, hurry up and end it, will you? And Evelyn, I'm waiting to hear good news about your hubby. Hopefully he can come home soon.